Good morning, everybody. Another episode of the Keep Going podcast, Athlete Shining a Light on Mental Health. Super excited for a couple different reasons. I'm going to kick it over to Jackie Tripp to get us rolling.
Hello, KG fam. How we doing? I think it's been a year or so since I've been on an episode. Took a break to do an in-person interview project in my hometown in Plymouth. Rocked that with one of my best friends, and am taking everything I learned from that to jump back on the podcast with Pat and Dave. So happy to be here and happy to talk to Jake today.
Well, Jackie, I appreciate you and welcome back. We obviously love you, miss you, and we're just super excited to have you back. Talk about our guest today.
So we got Jake today. I just made sure I got his college name right because didn't want to skew it, but Illinois guy, has been playing sports, he said, since he could walk. College football commit at the QB position, so I'm excited to ask him about that. He's only playing at Beloit College in Wisconsin, and he got connected through Pat, if I'm correct, through the We to Me movement.
Yes, you got it. So I would tell you right
There you
now
go.
that Jake is somebody that right when I walked in the room, I knew I had ties to this guy. Like right away, we started talking. Obviously, my brother was a college quarterback, a really good one, as we know. I talk about it, the area. He grew up right around me. Jake is still in the suburbs right now. And then he's coming out to Beloit College with everybody I know out here in Roscoe. That's about 5 minutes from where I live now. Like Ashton works in Beloit.
I
So it's
actually was
just
thinking that.
crazy, right? Like how the world is so connected. But the best thing about Jake is he's welcoming, he's authentic, and he's got this giant chip on his shoulder to be great, which I love that. Jake, tell the people how you got the football in your hand, man.
Yeah, so it was, I mean, geez, I was playing catch ever since basically I could hold the football. When I was about, I think, a year old, my parents got me a like football pillow rattle thing. So I was always trying to throw that around. And then just like I had footballs that were about this big to now regulation size footballs that I've been throwing ever since.
Yeah, man. You always been a quarterback? Is that kind of your calling?
Yeah, so I didn't actually start playing like tackle footballs till freshman year, but I played like 7-on-7 and flag football before then.
Oh, I love it, man. And obviously, I mentioned my brother earlier. We've had quarterbacks like Tyler Selvig on here a couple episodes ago. What makes the quarterback position different, man?
I think really it's just the mindset you have to have, because you have to know everybody's job and you have to know your own job at the same time. And then just, I mean, the beating that you get when you're out there with 300-pound defensive linemen coming at you. So,
No doubt. No doubt. Go ahead, Jack.
I watched the Netflix series Quarterback like 2 summers ago, and as soon as you said getting beat up by D linemen, when they interviewed Kirk Cousins on that was his big thing, was two things. One, I need to know, it's like a point guard in basketball. I got to know, but this is even applies even more so in the game of football. Technically, you have to know what you're doing and you have to know what the whole offense is doing and what the whole defense is doing. But then you got like a split second in the pocket or gap to make a decision. So you're like almost the leader of the pack of wolves, but also a lone wolf. How do you sort of manage carrying all that while you play?
yeah, so I just over prepare. It's it's kind of a bad thing for me. Where like during school, I've caught myself looking at game film and going over the playbook and everything when I'm supposed to be doing my schoolwork. But it's just over preparation, and then everything just comes easy once you know what the defense is going to do, what you're going to do, and then just the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, and I don't take that lightly, man. You know, I feel like I'm gonna bring up my brother a bunch on the episode today. Like Adam used to play on a Saturday I would not see that man until Monday morning. Like he would be so beat up, he'd be so mentally, physically, emotionally drained. Just the life of a quarterback, man. And that's why I was so excited to get you on. Talk about your high school journey, man, because honestly, it has not been sunshine and rainbows for you. It hasn't been this crazy thing where you were a 10 plus offers guy. Talk about that, and I'm gonna let you just kind of roll with that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so going into my freshman year summer camp, I like was out there, and I was just basically trying to get after it. I was trying to find people to throw with and just work on timing and routes and everything because I didn't know what was going to happen. And then come training camp, I got the starting job for week one. But the scheme that our offense ran was, and I mean, freshman football is basically just all quarterback runs. Um, and I am not the most mobile guy out there. Let's just say that. Um, so I started week one. We were down like 14-0 or whatever at halftime. And they took me out. Um, and so basically for the rest of the year, until week 8, the second to last week of the year, I was playing in all the freshman B games. And those, they just kind of, they changed the playbook scheme to fit me. So it was all like stand in the pocket, drop back pass. And I mean, I really flourished in that. Um, and then sophomore year, it was like I thought I was going to be the starter on JV, but then the backup on varsity, they wanted to get him playing time. So they had him start all the JV games. So it was just, I would prepare all week, like expecting to start, and then it wouldn't happen. And so that was really draining, mentally and physically. Um, and then junior year, it I finally was starting on JV, and I threw for close to 1,400 yards, and 11 touchdowns. So that I did pretty decent. The record wasn't the best, but I had a couple good games. I had a couple not so good games. And that was really when I started reaching out, because I knew that I didn't have any of the varsity film that these coaches were looking for. So I just started reaching out and cold calling and cold emailing schools everywhere from here, from basically the Mississippi River to the East Coast, um, emailing and calling as many schools as I could, just trying to find somewhere to get an opportunity. Um, and that's when I first took my visit on a spring practice, to Beloit. Instantly fell in love with the place. It's got that close, like homey feel.
Yeah.
And it's only an hour away from me, so it's far enough where I don't have my parents nagging me, but at the same time, it's far enough away where I can like be out there and live a little bit.
Yeah.
So then I was talking to a couple other schools just right in the area here. Um, and then it was in the winter after my senior season was over with, and I decided to commit to Beloit, and I signed to Beloit in May.
Yeah, man. Now, what a great journey. And I think it's a true testament for a lot of young athletes that sometimes it doesn't look how it looks on the quarterback's doc. Like sometimes it doesn't look how it looks in the media where you just come out and you're just the man. Like I mean, keep going back to Adam, right? Adam was a center when he started playing football. He didn't even carry the ball. And then he was all state as a senior, had 10 plus college offers. So it's like, no matter where you're at now, from a physical standpoint, a mental standpoint, it just takes some change, and that's okay.
I love it.
So,
I think we gotta call this episode because all I'm thinking of right now is watering the plants. Cause same with Pat in this podcast, for example, you gotta do 130 plus episodes, and then something might stick, and then a message might get to somebody, and somebody might get impacted. I did a 75 hard this winter. I didn't notice or see any differences till day 62. I remember being a breakthrough day, but because I kept watering the plants. And you, Jake, you, especially high school sports, it gets so political and it gets so easy to get down on yourself. But you kept watering the plants because when you got switched to the B freshman team, you could have kind of felt sorry for yourself, put your head down, but you showed up every day and you watered the plants. And like you said, that allowed you to flourish. And had you not made that decision as a 14, 15-year-old to keep your chin up and water the plants and go through maybe the mundane task of being a backup freshman quarterback, you probably wouldn't be sitting here today talking about how now you're going to be a college quarterback, because some people think that they can sort of just, oh, I'll go a week and then I'll dump a gallon into my garden and I'll water it that way. But you sort of chose to take the extraordinary route of watering things a little bit every day, and it's shown as to where you are right now. And I think that's great.
yeah, it's a true testament, Jake, to the work that you've put in. And I'd have to ask you during all this, man, what was your keep going moment? Like, what was that moment where you were like, oh man, I don't think I can get up from this. How'd you get through it? What'd you keep going moment?
Yeah, so it was basically just the thing that kind of struck me down and brought me back, or helped me hit my sort of rock bottom, was showing up every day and then just like not being given the same opportunities. And there were times where I thought about quitting, but my drive was that I wanted to get some sort of scholarship so my parents didn't have to go into debt, to help me pay for college. Um, and that was just, it was every time I started to get down on myself, I was remembering that this is why I'm doing it, and this is why I'm going through these 2.5 hour long practices. This is why I'm coming home all bruised up and um, battered and drained after practice and games, and then got to do homework and try and get the academic side right. I'm not the best student, so it definitely took some prompting, but it was, that was my motivation, and that's gonna continue to be my motivation at Beloit.
Yeah, I think that's really vulnerable, man. Like once again, we don't have a lot of high school kids come on here first and foremost. Second, we don't have a lot of high school kids that come on here and talk about, hey, I might not be the best quarterback. I might not be the best student. I might not be where I need to be right now, but I think that's the beauty in this. And I think Me Too We makes a huge impact on you. I mean, you're there every Sunday meeting, like Jackie said when we jumped on. You're in the clips, you're in the reels. Like, how do you feel like Me Too We's affected you, man?
Yeah, so it's basically been my my lifeline, I guess you would say. I have I've struggled with anxiety ever since like third and fourth grade. Um, where it was, I would basically go to the nurse every day saying that my stomach hurt, and it was because I was nervous and I didn't like have anybody really that I could talk to. And I didn't want to see the school counselor or anything, because me being as a sports guy back then, I thought that it was like a sign of being weak or whatever, that I would have to like go and talk to somebody. But so then I was going to see a therapist up until about, I think, ninth or 10th grade. Um, and then that was when my junior year of high school, a couple of my baseball teammates were going to Me2E, and I just instantly fell in love with the message that Zach Gale is trying to spread through that. And it was just, I finally reached out one day, asking about the wristbands. And he said that he would come by and drop them off. Well, it was after a storm, so there were cleanup crews on my street, and he wasn't able to get to my mailbox to drop them off. So he gave me the address for the meeting that week, and I showed up, fell in love, was able to talk about my stuff, and have been going ever since.
Yeah, go ahead, Jackie.
You have a lot of humility for somebody your age, and I commend you for taking advantage of the resources that are in front of you, because I speak for anybody my age, and I speak for Pat. When we were in high school and college, I mean, it started to become a thing. I just graduated college, and the conversation's starting to happen now about mental health, and especially the niche of mental health and athletes. So I'm proud of you for taking advantage of all of the resources that athletes finally do have, because Pat and I didn't really have that when we were high school, college athletes. And it's good to see, it's refreshing for Pat and I to see somebody your age to, one, have these feelings, because all athletes have them, address it, and then do something about it. And that's going to help you shine as an athlete and wherever you go after college. So,
Yeah.
I mean, good for you. That's awesome. And I guess we'll go into a little bit of questions, but you dove into all your background and everything. So, as you were talking, I thought of a few questions I could ask you. I guess I would say, I mean, Pat and I always make relations, and Dave, to pro sports. Is there a pro athlete that you sort of are try to emulate, or somebody that has had an impact on you? Also, shout out Gail for crushing it, because had to give Gail a shout out. He's not a pro athlete. I mean, he's like my favorite pro athlete, but anybody in the pro leagues that you got that you look to?
The guy's bicep is like my leg. Go
It's
ahead.
like the size of my head.
Go ahead, Jake.
There's a whole bunch of them. There's too many to count. But I think that one of the main ones that I try and like focus on is obviously the GOAT, Tom Brady. Just everything, his preparation and stuff on the football side, but also on the business side too, and how he's trying to build his brand, and how he's 45, 46 years old, and he is in the best shape of his life. He's eating right still. He's still lifting. His brand is, he's got active wear. He's got nutritional stuff. And it's just, it's someone that I look up to. And also, when I was younger, on my dad's side, a bunch of my aunts and uncles went to the University of Michigan. So I was a huge U of M fan. So that just falls right in there.
Jake, I really liked
ties.
you. Yeah, I was about to say, Jake, I really liked you until you started talking about this. Go ahead, Jackie.
So I'm from New England. So you got me, Jake. I mean, this is the one sports thing Pat and I don't tie on. But no, I mean, especially growing up, being around Tom, and making sure you guys can hear me. Growing up in New England, you see how much he impacts athletes and stuff. And I mean, I take his electrolytes my brother got for me, and like, I don't know if you're on his nutrition stuff yet, but it's great. and I can see how you relate to Tom Brady because it seems like the little things you do right. So it makes sense that that was your answer, and because like you said, he's the GOAT. Um, Back to Gail. Is there anything I want to touch on that one more time with the Me to We meetings? Is there anything that the question surrounding that? Is there anything from those meetings that I'm sure there's more than one answer to this that you take with you daily? Maybe a quote that's in your head or an exercise he's giving you guys. What would you say the biggest thing you've taken so far from those meetings is that has helped you?
Great question.
I mean, in the notebook that I have every single sheet of paper that Zach has basically ever given me. So it's my version of keeping receipts, and I'm always jotting stuff down in those meetings. And just it's everything and every little thing that Zach does, and that he tries and is personable with everybody. And him being a former college athlete and just like is still in love with sports. It's just every little thing that he does, except when I was on spring break and he started talking about books and reading. That was the one thing that I didn't like.
All right, so I won't ask you what your favorite book is. That's great though. All right, I was gonna ask you your favorite book, so I gotta flip at that then. All right, I have a better one. This ties into everything we've talked about today because you meant, like Pat mentioned, day after Adam's game, you don't see him for the next day. Do you have anything you do after maybe a bad game, or you felt like you didn't have the best game or the best practice? Is there anything you do post game, post practice to help you sort of move on from that? And as I'll quote Ted Lasso, be a goldfish. So he likes to call it the happiest animal on earth is a goldfish because they have a 10-second memory. So I guess what would you do to help yourself be a goldfish in those situations?
I mean, with me, I will after practice or after games, good or bad, I'll watch the film and try and look back. I normally try and spend about a half hour, 45 minutes watching the film from that day. And then I put that all to the side and I put it away. And then I get to hang out with my 14-year-old brother and play Xbox or do homework or do other schoolwork. And it's an escape from football. And it's just something that I always look forward to.
Yeah, I love it, man. And I got one more for you, and I'll get you back to your Sunday. My question would be very simple, man. You're a small, here, how's this? I'm gonna put it. You're from a small suburb, right, man? We're not in the big city of Chicago. We're not in New York and all these major cities. You're a suburbs kid, just like myself. I was an aspiring quarterback coming up. I never grew past 5'9". I couldn't see over the line. When you're done playing the game, what do you want to be remembered for?
I mean, I think everybody who plays the game of football and who plays quarterback wants to be known for their win-loss record or their completion percentage or their yards or everything on the football side. But when I'm done playing, I want my teammates and just people looking at it from the outside to see how much of a leader I am or I try to be. Obviously, there's times where in games I'll mess up and then I'm mad at myself. And I mean, it's being human. But I try and show my leadership and just my compassion for others out there. And I hope that everyone will be able to see that and see how much I try and build my teammates up before myself. And it's just every day that I get to lace up the cleats and go out there and throw the pigskin around is a blessing. So
I love it, man. Well, thank you for spending time with us on a Sunday. It was a special one today, obviously having Jackie back and just having an authentic conversation to really speak. This one really speaks to high school athletes. Like, no matter what you're going through, there is that keep going mantra. There is another side to this. Go ahead, Jack.
No, I love it. And Pat mentioned his brother Adam in this episode, and I gotta shout out my sister because she reminds me a lot. You two remind me of each other. Her freshman year of high school, should have been a varsity starter. The way the program worked, I made varsity. A few of the other freshmen did, and she did not. And had that happened to anyone else, it would not have gone their way. She came back the next year as a sophomore, started one league all-star, ended up being an amazing college player, winning 2 championships, and now she works for the NCAA. So you can really, whatever happens to you, Michael Jordan-esque, I'm proud of you and her for taking that situation freshman, sophomore year, and again, watering the plant and putting the reps in. And it's gotten you to where you are today. And I'm excited to see where your college career goes. I obviously won't be able to get to a game. I don't think you'll make it to Massachusetts, but I'll follow along on your stats for sure. And I know Pat will keep me posted. And this was a great first episode back, and I'm fired up about it. So thank you, Jake.
I completely agree. And shout out all the Bucks. And for all the people that don't know, hopefully you know a little bit more about Jake now. This guy's a brother. This guy's Me Too We family. This guy's a leader. This is someone that his DMs are always open. Reach out to the kid. Jake Huffman, it's been a blessing having you on, brother. Thanks for coming on today.
yeah, appreciate you.
Always,
Thanks,
man.
Jake.
Keep going. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday.